Okay. Again, line is open 267-939-1216. They get anything on rookie camp, anything else as well. Again, like I mentioned, practice Thursday, Friday, morning skate for the game on Friday night. That's at 7 at PPL Center. Saturday, game 2. That's at 5. Practice Sunday at 10, Monday at 11, and then Tuesday at 11, all in Voorhees for Flyers rookie camp. It'll be interesting to kind of see how this goes. Again, the roster, I'm going to kind of go through it again because some invites, we'll start with the forwards, J.R. Avon. Obviously been at development camp, been in the organization for a handful of years now. Doesn't surprise me. He actually had a pretty good rookie camp last year and had a good showing in the games. Denver Barkey, this will be interesting because Barkey didn't play in development camp, wasn't able to participate. He was injured, and it'll be interesting to kind of see, I think, A, how he plays, just as a forward, but I think B, too, like him and Bonk, teammates, the way that they kind of react. I'm excited to kind of see how that goes. Bobby Brink, I thought, had a really, really, really good development camp. Looks really strong. Him and Forrester are the two guys that I'm looking for to really kind of take over this. I have not seen anything from the Rangers and kind of what their roster might look like for the games. Matt Brown, camp invite as well. Alex Ziernik, fourth round pick, obviously this past year. Elliot Desnoyers, Jonathan Fachon, he's an invite as well. Interesting there. Again, another center that can kind of play, and it'll be interesting to kind of see what happens there. And if Fachon ends up having a good camp, you could see him end up coming back. Again, like I mentioned, Tyson Forrester, Brendan Fury, obviously played last year with the Phantoms, probably going to be getting an AHL deal soon. That's my guess. Jacob Gaucher, who I mentioned earlier in the segment with Mike. Alexei Gendron, obviously very skilled, had a lot of points this past year in the queue, over 100. Oh my God, I think he had almost 60 goals this past year in the QMJHL. Samu Tuamala, who I thought had a pretty good development camp, was at least able to shoot, looked better, I think, in all types of areas. But I am getting a call here. Let me pick this one up. Hey, Dad, you're on the air.
All right, real quick, and I'll just hang up and listen.
Yeah, what's up?
Once again, great with Mike. My question is, 2 rookie games this weekend up in Allentown. You think they're playing anybody longer than others, or you think everybody's going to get a fair shake? You know what I mean? A fair amount of time, the same amount of time, I should say.
Right.
On ice or what? What are your thoughts? I'll hang up and listen. Great show. And let's go Flyers.
All right, Dad. I'll talk to you.
Peace.
See ya. There he is, my father. Here we go. So, let me finish out the roster real quick, and then we'll kind of cut through that type of question, because I think it's good, and I think it's a smart thing to kind of hit the roster first. Zayd Wisdom rounds out the forwards. Then you have Emil Andre. Obviously, everybody knows Andre. Oliver Bonk, Adam Ginning, Helge Grans, Mateo Mann, Mason Millman, Ethan Sampson, Sam Sedley, Carter Southern, and Will Zmolik. Goaltenders Carson Bjarnason and Nolan Maher. I'm very interested to see how Bjarnason plays. My guess is that Bjarnason's probably going to start the first game. My guess, I'm thinking Bjarnason is going to start that first game, and Maher might get the other one. Could go the other way. Maher gets Friday, Bjarnason gets Saturday. I'm not too sure kind of how that's going to go. I think it depends on, the lines and kind of where they're seeing that specific type of player. As for the D, I think obviously Andre Bonk, that's probably the first pair. That's got to be my guess. Adam Ginning is probably going to play a good chunk of minutes. The guys that you're expecting to at least probably make some sort of an impact in the organization, at least this season, for their respective teams, whether it be the Phantoms. Some guys might be in Reading. Some guys still in the queue. Sam Sedley, he's an invite, so he's trying to make an impact. Excuse me. Those type of players, they're going to be trying to make the most noise. Guys like Andre, guys like, Bonk, they're competing for spots. So it'll be interesting. Again, I think Bonk is like a long way off. I think Andre has a really good chance to make the team, or at least make the team out of main camp. But again, guys like Genning playing for an NHL spot too, played a little bit last year. Ethan Sampson, I think he's definitely going to be a Phantom this year, who I thought actually had a really good development camp. I thought Sampson had some really good moments, good defensively, can definitely shoot. I think the defense is kind of rounding up pretty well. So we'll kind of see where that goes. Wills Molik, who obviously, was a Phantom signing last year out of college, kind of came up towards the end of the year and into the Calder Cup playoffs for the Phantoms. But again, like I said, even with the offense, like guys like Brink, Forrester, Dinoyer, it's probably going to be your first line. Barkey, Avon, Ziernik. I mean, I think there's some other guys that I'm a little more curious to see too in game form, specifically Ziernik, Barkey, Tuomala again, just to kind of re-see that, because again, we kind of have an idea of what Dinoyer and Brink and Forrester can kind of do, because they've done it a little bit at the AHL or NHL level type of thing. Some of the younger guys I'm a little more curious to see just because of where they're at. So it'll be interesting. I'm curious, kind of where this goes, especially with the on ice on Thursday. Hopefully everybody can stay healthy and then everyone can play in the games. Again, you got 13 forwards, 10 D, and 2 goalies. So it'll be interesting to kind of see where that goes to, because again, like I mentioned before, that's a lot more guys than usual. And, having 10 defensemen and 13 forwards, and you can only dress 18 in total, and the Flyers have 25 on the entire roster. There's going to be some cuts and stuff like that too. Mr. Twister says, I was really hoping Zade Wisdom could be solid. Still time, but not looking great. Yeah, unfortunately, Wisdom's kind of had a little bit of a rough patch here. Hopefully, he can kind of turn it around. He is another guy that I genuinely think could get some good minutes this weekend. It'll be interesting to see how it plays out. I think there's a good mix here, and I think Lappy's going to have a good couple of decisions. I'm assuming that Lappy's going to probably oversee some of it. That's kind of how it went last year as well. And obviously the player development staff will be there. Not sure who will be on the bench, off the bench, watching from the press box type of thing. I'm assuming Daniel Briere will be there, but it'll be interesting to kind of see how that plays out too, because I think, again, like I said, there's a lot of different line combinations you could roll with here, specifically if you're trying to get the most impact out of some guys. And again, like I said, there's a lot of questions with this, and I love these type of camps because you're able to see a lot of different things in certain players too, and even the invites. I mean, guys like Matt Brown, who we don't really know right now, Fury, Gaucher, and Sam Sadley. The Flyers have 5 invites. Nolan Maher being the other one, but he ended up playing with the Phantoms for a good chunk of last year too. So yeah, it'll be interesting. We'll kind of see how that goes.